Hey, how are you?
Hello, welcome to Thomas Podcast.
Yeah,
Hello,
thank you.
Jose. How are you?
I'm very good. Yourself?
No, I'm great, thank you. It's nice to finally see your face after all
Oh,
this time talking to you.
really? I thought you came to one of our events, didn't you?
It wasn't in person.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, sorry, not yet, not yet.
not yet,
Nice to
not yet.
see you.
That's good. That's good. How are you? You're looking good.
Thank you so much. I love the background. Is that Cap
Oh,
Verde?
yeah, no, this is actually Santo actually.
Santo Tomé. Oh, wow, never
Santo
been
Yes.
there. So
No,
let's
no.
That's
But-
fantastic. Let's start with introducing yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
Well, I'm Jose Santiago. I've got, if you like, a financial banking background. And this is what I've been doing for, I would say, over 30 years now. Originally from São Tomé, educated in Portugal and Britain, deployed to the Middle East for many years, back to and now, we are running fair amount of projects in Africa,
Mm,
and not just Africa, and the Caribbean too. And this is if you like, on entrepreneurship or side. On the side of improving, if you like, the life of our people, we have started the Homogeneous Generation Wealth about 4 years ago, which dedicates all the time in training, educating our people in asset-based creation, wealth, protect it, and obviously being able to transfer it to the next generation. And the reason
mm,
for that is because two reasons actually. One is because our people are at the bottom of the pyramid in all indicators around the world. This is number one. Number two is because majority of our people, they have to start all over again every generation. So this is not sustainable because obviously, as it has been so far, we are always at the bottom of the pile, and we are very good in squandering everything that our parents made in the space of 3 years. So this is
mm.
me, and that's it basically.
That's amazing. It looks like to me, it sounds like you do a lot of things. How do you manage to do it all? That's my next question.
Well, I don't know if I do a lot. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. It depends always on the perspective. Two things in here. First, if you do what is your calling, if you do what you love, what you're really passionate about, you don't see how much time you put into that.
Mm-hmm.
Two is also the fact that I've got a group of people that I work with, obviously, not just in the UK, but all around the world, because our organization is now, I think, is more than 55 countries. So we've got people in all of those places who work with us. But on top of that, obviously, doing what I love and having people work, we work together. You've got the other side is that you have to prioritize what you want to prioritize. I mean, what is important. So
Mm-hmm.
for me right now, I've reached a level which certain things are priority. And one of them, for example, is to uh, train and coach and mentor our people in the business of claiming what we're supposed to be, where we're supposed to be, because our ancestors were the originators of all of these things. And how on earth we are at the bottom when we should never be? So this is something I'm passionate about. So therefore, there's not enough hours in the day.
Yes, I agree. I mean, why do you feel passionate about that when you're saying our people are not where they should be? Why do you care so much? And I'm not saying that in a wrong way.
No, 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 no. I do care so much for a very simple reason, because I personally been lucky in many aspects to reach what I've reached, right? However, when I walk on the street, people look at me and they judge me for being who I present. Nobody asks me for my bank account. Nobody asks me for my status. Are you with me? Nobody asks.
Mm-hmm.
People judge me. and I'm walking on the street, see a white lady, old white lady with her purse. The first thing she does is she grabs the purse and put it out there.
Mm.
When in reality, I am 20, 30, 100 times in a better position than she is. But because I am an African man, immediately she assumed that this guy is coming to rob me. This is one thing. The second is, for example, my children. When, for example, my boy is walking on the street with the things that we see in this society, they don't ask him who your father is. Nobody cares. They would mistreat him anyhow, before they could even know who is his father or where he comes from, that maybe stealing lollipop is not necessarily what he's going to go for. On the third aspect is we as a people, we produce very little and we became a consumer machine. We just consume. We consume education, we consume clothing, we consume housing, we consume music. We are just consumer and entertainers. So this is not really a comfortable position for me because I believe where I've reached is a lot better than that. It doesn't mean that we should not have entertainers. This is not it. But when we've got 80 to 90% of us being entertainers and only be valued to be entertainers, this is not a good place. So therefore, I feel that we need to do something. So therefore, people learn that they need to make that journey. So basically is the fact that my community is poor or is seen as poor, I am also seen as poor irrespective of my bank account.
So also I know every time we've been speaking about, I like to do things. I mean, this podcast is for young people. And you also you do a lot of work for young people. So can you tell me some of the things you do for young people?
Yes, of course. Maybe I would start with why young people. Because whether we like it or not, we're going to go, right? Technically, we're supposed to go before. I'm talking about we, people of my generation, supposed to go before the young people. So I'm supposed to go before my children. Now, if I do not do the good job to transfer the wisdom, the technology, the know-how to my children and the people of my children's generation, I am shooting myself on the foot. Why? Because once I've gone, I take it with me. And again, remember I mentioned to you at the beginning that in our community, sad as it is, our generation, every generation needs to start all over. Why? Because most of us do not do what we're supposed to do, which is build the bridge, transfer the knowledge, transfer the know-how, transfer the technology, transfer the wisdom to the next generation. So basically, I do it because it's a continuation. And if I don't do it, obviously, not just me, but everybody then we've got a gap, a big gap. And this is what we've got in our community today, a massive gap between people who you could call Generation X and Generation Y and Generation Z and whatever. There is a massive gap. I'm not talking just about gap in age, but I'm talking about gap in knowledge, gap in expertise, gap in wisdom. And the only people who is responsible for that is us.
Yeah.
I can't go out there and say, well, the young people now are lazy, the young people now are this, this. Hold on, whose fault is that?
That's yeah.
Yeah. The young people were not born. Everybody, when we're born as a blank canvas. This is how we are born. So everything that young people are doing today, they learn it some way, somehow. Either through social media, because we were not there, either through movies and whatever, because we were not there, either through television, because we were not there, or because we are too lazy and too busy to put time and effort in transferring to them what we know.
Yeah.
And I can tell you when I grew up and saw every single day, 7 o'clock, my mom and my grandmother were putting us, all children, around the 7 o'clock in the evening and telling us stories, transfer wisdom, teaching us something. And to this day, many things that I learned in those gatherings, I still remember them.
That's good.
And this is what we should do. And
That's
unfortunately, I'm not sure we are doing.
we are not doing a good job. I feel like, because personally, this is the problem I have at the moment. Yeah. So I work in a school. Okay. And let's be real. Let's be clear. This podcast is really to show young people that you don't need GCSEs to succeed in life. There are some people who don't have any form of education, no certificate, nothing, but they still manage to do something for themselves. And where I work, I feel like we're trying to, every school I think is the same, but we try to fit everyone into a box, but not everybody gonna fit into that box. What we should do as a school, instead of teaching them only vocab, yeah, grammar and all of that for any subject, they need more life skills. I think even during our tutor time, like PSHE, we should teach them more about what to expect when you leave secondary school. You're gonna be in the big world. We're gonna start to think about what you're gonna do in your life, where you want to go in your life. So these are the things that I think, things that you've learned as a young person. We should carry that on as teachers. And
Well,
we don't.
I know that you work in school, but I'm going to disappoint you a bit. Why I'm going to disappoint you? Because school has never been created to transfer the wisdom or to do or to make you better in your life. Like, for example, maximizing maximizing the usage and applicability of your intellect. The school was not built for that. The school was never built to train you to take good care of yourself. This is not what the school was built for. The school was built for, as an army, as a camp, to format people to one way of thinking. This is what school is there for. To the point that you say, the school in the United States, the school in the UK, school in France, school in Germany, each one of them got one different type of formatting. In England, you come, what is it? English and math. Forget all the other subjects, it's English and math. Why?
And science.
And science. But why? Why?
I don't know.
There are other areas which could be relevant, as you quite rightly said. To me, I don't have to want science, school, math, and English. But guess what? Of course, if you go to France, nobody's going to include English as a mandatory language. They're going to say French. And when you go to German, they're going to say German.
Yeah.
Which means that school was literally to format people in one direction, to be good citizens, to have good manners, to have quote unquote morals, and this kind of thing. This is what school is there for. So if you are expecting, or if any parent is expecting their children to go to school, so therefore they get life skills to do better in life, they're going to be disappointed, because this is not what school is for.
I have to agree with you.
You know, it is very disappointing, but this is fine. But another thing that people forgot is, when did you find the proliferations of universities, proliferation of technical school, proliferation of this? It was on the turn of 20th century. Why? Because we moved from, it was the Industrial Revolution or whatever you want to call it. So what they did, they moved people from field plantation, sugar cane and all the rest of it, to what? To office plantation. So therefore, people in office plantation need to know more things. They need to know how to turn the screw. They need to know how to count. They need to know how to write. And this is where you got the accountants, the admins, and all of those things, and mechanics, simply because the system needed them to have those set of skills. So this is how they teach you. That's it. Okay, I want you to go and learn how to turn the screw. I didn't ask you how to manufacture the screw, how to do different type of screw. No, 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 no. All I want you to do is to go there and you turn the screw to the right with a screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody or every parent, I'm a parent myself, obviously, every parent who sends their children to school to get life skills to come, they are deluding themselves because this is not why school is there for. This is one of the reasons why a podcast like yours and what we do, for example, is much more beneficial to individual than school.
I agree.
If
I
I could
agree.
start today, do you know what I would do?
What?
If I could start today, it's very simple. My children would go to school just to primarily to learn how to read and write, how to know the alphabet.
That's
Finito.
it. Finish.
Finito. Now, boy and girl, okay, you are 10 now. What do you like doing? Oh, you know what? I like ripping paper and whatever. Which profession could be ripping paper? Let's think about that. Whatever. I would send that boy or that girl to that particular school. So he would save 7 years of his life. 7. 7 years. How can you understand that somebody does A level and then he understand that he wants to be a baker? Well, he doesn't need none of this. Get
No.
to school at 11. You want to be a baker. Okay, you need to know the flour, the type of flour, where the flour is, how do you do. Learn everything to do with baking. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Please don't waste your time to go in there and learn about Copernicus, how the star goes up and down, how many planets you've got there, how many legs got a centipede, how many wings got a fly. None of those things are relevant for a baker. None of it. So
You're
because
right.
it's not relevant to the baker, that child who wants to be a baker is just there wasting time.
It's sad because recently there are some people who have been expelled, they're getting into a lot of trouble. And that's the thing. Those kids, they don't find anything that is gonna be relevant for them. Like, let's be real, life skills is something that we need as teachers, we need to do more. And that's why when I decided to do this podcast from nearly 2 years ago, when my pupils were like, oh, miss, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I don't know what's next. I'm worried, whatever. And I said, no, I've got an idea. Let me talk to many people and see that you don't need GCSEs to succeed in life. You don't. You really don't. Yeah, even those who have it, you still have to go to the same place like everybody else. Experience is what people are looking for.
Yeah.
They don't care about you got grade 9 for English, science. They don't care about that. They want to know what exactly the experience that you have, references.
And again, you are absolutely right in that. Those children, unfortunately, there is another thing.
Yeah.
We as people or individually learn differently. For example, I am one of those people that I learn with pen and paper. Pen and paper is learning from me. I've got a child, one of my daughters. She is a visual memory person. Give her something for her to see, you got it. Don't give her pen and paper because this is not for her. I know some people, I went to school with a guy, he would ask the teacher to repeat the same thing 20 times. But once he got it, so we are talking about 3 different people. None of them is more intelligent than the other. They just
Mm-hmm.
learn differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's
Now,
it.
school is not there to give this to you. Forget it. The school is not there to say, oh, kinesthetic or visual. Or no, 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 no. This is not what school is there for. And the school got a program. At the end of the year, the teacher need to follow the curriculum and finish that program. And this is what the school is there for. So therefore, all of those students who cannot learn as an army of people with this kind of brain that way, they are fall by the wayside. Then we talk about autistic people. Then we talk about whatever name you cite, name that you guys call it now. You've got all kind dyslexic people. You've got people, whatever. You've got all those kind of people who the brain does not work in the same way as other people. So therefore, they cannot learn the same way.
No,
But is school prepared for that? No.
no,
Get it?
no, no. You know what? We'll be here the whole day, yeah, if we talk about the issues that the government or the education needs to really fix. Because there's a lot wrong for me. Anyway, as I told you on the phone, I feel like for me, I don't like what I'm seeing. And one day I don't mind kissing it goodbye. I really don't. Anyway, so I really love what you do. So you are from San Tome, as you said.
Yes.
I think I spoke to some of your friends. Rui is one of your
Rui.
friends.
Yeah, Rui is
Yes.
one of our members, yeah.
Yeah, and there was another person as well I spoke to, I forgot. Please forgive me.
It's
But
okay.
I like what they do for Santo They saw a gap in the market and they actually do something for their football club. I think this is what they do for the national team. I like that they've brought something for Santo Is it something that you're planning to do or you've done so already for Santo?
We do it, but again, we do it totally differently. Because I didn't mention to you now is that everything we do under Ubuntu principles. So, for example, bringing one footballer from Sao Tome to Arsenal or to Manchester United could be a good thing for many people. For us, it's a disaster. It's bad. Why? Because you are taking a skill from that country and bringing it to Europe who doesn't need it. So you are causing damage in your good heart. You're doing it in good faith, but you're causing damage to the country.
Okay.
So what we do, we go and we invest there and do there. We train them, we put the money, we bring the project, and we make them not just, and we are not looking for employees. We don't employ people. We make them partners. So they become co-owners of every project. For example, we've got rabbit farming in more than 25 villages in Congo, for example. In each one of those villages, in each one of those farming, we and the people there are co-owners. Because if you continue to create employment, you are simply extending the line of poverty. Why? Very unlikely for some people on salary to build any wealth. If they don't build wealth, they don't build prosperity. If they don't build prosperity, they don't build freedom. If they don't build freedom, they don't build power. And our people are starving for all of those things.
Yeah.
So for us, we've got investment, for example, in Ghana, we've got in Congo, we've got in Brazil, we've got something starting in, for example, Jamaica, we've got things in São Tomé, but on the same model, under Ubuntu principle. We do not, we do not follow the Western capitalist model, because Western capitalist model is based on exploitation. So you take, let's say 50,000 go to Ghana. Yes, I came to Ghana to invest. Okay, you invest. You employed how many people? 100 people, no problem. 5 years down the line, your 50,000 grew to 200,000. What do you do with that money? You take that money, run away. Now I want to ask you, after those 5 years, what is the condition that you left those 100 people? Are they better off? I doubt it. They're not better off. They're actually, in fact, worse off. So therefore, we don't advocate in no shape or form 2 or 3 things. Create employment and creating charities. Those are the two most damaging things which are in our continent. Damaging. Charities and employment.
Okay.
But obviously, you see people say, oh, I came here, create employment. No, you are lying, you are deceiving. You are not doing the right thing. I hope I answered your question, because
No, you did. No, you did. But I feel like you're right. I feel like, okay, as we're talking about football, I feel like there are some players. I think that guy Obi Mikel, I think,
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, why are you playing for England? You should play for Nigeria and things like that." So I think from what you said, it looks to me that it is damaging like the talent in a way, but at the same time, they might feel, "Oh, let's have more opportunities in Europe." But I feel like it's hard because the talent is talent, no matter where you play, no matter where you go. But I do feel like we are not like we need to have more representation
Yeah.
in the continent. So I
So,
guess I get your
so
point.
sorry, you should be the one asking question, but let me ask one question.
Yeah, go on.
Do they have more opportunity? Do they?
That's a very good question. Do they? Everywhere should have opportunities, really.
No, they don't have more opportunity in Europe.
Okay.
No. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. The boy leaves Nigeria and comes to England. Let's say in Nigeria, the salary is, let's say, £1,000 a month. And he came here, he's making £50,000. Oh, 1,000 to 50,000, a lot of money. He got the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. But this is for people who don't know. Because for people who know, like us, that guy is far poorer than the guy making 1,000 in Nigeria. Let me take you through a few steps. Number one, when he get that 50,000 in here, he has to pay the publicist, the agent, the
Mm.
company, the nonsense, the accountant, whatever, whatever, whatever. In the end, if he's left with the 5,000, 10,000 pounds, fantastic. But guess what? First, his life span as a career is short. Second, they would use him like a machine to really finish him off. They finish him off in many ways. Physically, this is the reason why you see majority of them, by the time they're 30, 35, they're dead, they finished, they have to retire.
Mm.
Number two, they finish them financially. Because you know what? They create all of those fancy things around them, the blondie girls, the fast cars, the exclusive clubs, fancy holidays, or exclusive neighborhood, all of those things they have to spend money on.
Mm-hmm.
When, for example, you bought a Bugatti for 800,000 pounds, what do you think that Bugatti is worth in 5 years' time? Do you think it's going to be 800,000 pounds? Okay, let's say it is. But the majority of the cars that they buy, after 2, 3 years, the value goes down. So you put, let's say, £1 million in cars, in 5 years' time, it's not worth 1 million anymore. So it's not an investment. To the point that 2/3, 66% of our boys, when they retire, they are bankrupt within 6 years. Footballers, our footballers, 66% of them are bankrupt 6 years after retirement. So let me give you the numbers. So if he retires at 30, that means by 36, so let's say 40, he is bankrupt. That boy never done anything in his life. He's got nothing to show for it at the age of 40. Do you think imagine that he's going to die at 65. He's got 25 years with no money. Nothing. So they're not better off. They've got an illusion of being better off. And obviously the clubs and the agents and the management company, they use them to make their own money and drop them. When they see somebody being a bit level-headed and do you know what they do? They charge them with the tax evasion.
Oh, that's what this is happening, the tax evasion.
Every
Oh,
time, tax
it
evasion.
does.
Every
Yeah,
single time there is tax evasion. Or they find a blondie that he raped.
that's annoying.
It's funny how you never hear Rooney rape any blonde or Beckham rape a blonde. Never. Kane, none. But guess what? Sterling, Rashford, all of those boys, all the time, they rape one blonde. What does a blonde girl got that's so special? What do they have?
But I think it's lies. For some of that, I think it's lies.
But they never get away with it. Never. They are
Hmm.
always prosecuted. They are dragged to the mud and all the rest of it. And I'm not even telling you the statistic, because I know that. The statistic of boys who leave the continent and are sleeping on the street in Europe.
It's sad.
For you to have any good idea, very simple, my sister. In all football league in the UK, with all professional players, you don't get 10,000. So just imagine, every single year, you've got hundreds of thousands of boys who wants to be footballers. There's no place for them. It doesn't exist. Why? Every year there's not hundreds of players retiring, right? And there's no capacity in the league to take them on. So they live under the illusion, just illusion, that they are better off. No, they are not better off. And this is what we teach our people. And this is, we go there, you want to be a footballer, nothing wrong. You know what? Stay where you are, collect your 1,000 pounds. Trust me, build your life there. Because once you come to Europe, your life is between 5 and 10 years. They make sure all the money that you think that you earn, they collect it off you.
Mm-hmm.
They collect it all.
Yes, of
Look,
course.
have you heard of Thierry Henry?
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, what did the woman did to him? She took him to the cleaners.
Yeah.
What is the name? There is a guy called Walker. Walker, who's
Yeah.
yeah, the woman is taking him to the cleaners. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah. I think that will never go away. It's a shame. It really is. Ah, it's sad. It's very sad. But listen, my last question for you, because I really love everything they're saying, and you know we need to meet up, and we're gonna meet up anyway. That's what we
Yeah.
plan to do anyway. But my last question to you is, by the way, a big thank you for coming on my podcast. Thank you for your time. But my last question to you is, what next are you planning to do for young people?
Well, as I said, well, I didn't say, but I'm going to tell you, we've got Alkebulan Youth, which is our youth division.
Okay.
In Alkebulan Youth, we've got many things going from football, for example, because we know that boys like football, going for entertainment, for many other areas of there, but with one thing very clear, to educate them to take care of their lives. Because if they don't take care of their life, nobody will do it for them. So
Thank you.
we make sure that we coach and mentor them in their career, if they want a career. We make sure that they learn the business of building wealth and also building prosperity. And we put a lot of focus onto that. We make sure that this is, and our youth, we've got it in the UK. We've got activities which are online and also offline. And we are building, along with our ambassadors around the world, we are building youth units across the world. So, 1, mentoring, coaching, and training.
Mm-hmm.
2, if a youth got a project, he's got a business, he's level-headed, he wants to become really a business person, wealthy, we put money, we invest in projects, okay? But that youth need to understand that we've been there for quite some time, and we know what it is. And we take him by the hand to do the thing. If he comes with the Muzungo's mentality, capitalism attitude, this is not for us. We wanted to take him, we want him to be wealthy and powerful, but he needs to understand and learn with us, because this is what we are there for. So this, because as I said, we've got a lot of investments out there, and we also are patient enough to understand that the job that we are doing is going to take at least 200 years. So we are,
Mm.
yes, we are patient. We are, and we're taking time. And it will be nice to have you with us because what you are doing. But more importantly, we are launching now the village conversation. Village conversation is then when we bring expert in our community to have a conversation with all of us, including the youth. So then we can exchange the same way as our grandparents put us around the fire and told us a story at 7 o'clock in the evening. So this is what we are bringing here. We are bringing what we call village conversation, something very unique. It's not a speech, it's not to have a conversation and exchange wisdom amongst us. So we've got a lot for the youth. This is what
Oh,
I want to say.
that's
And it
fantastic.
would be nice to have you because at the end of the day, you could channel message also to them to make
Wow.
sure and do the thing. And as for you, as we said before, we will categorically promote what you are doing. We will
Thank you.
channel it to different departments and divisions that we have, not just in the UK, but all across the world, because
Thank you.
we intend in the next 5 years to be in at least 120 to 150 countries in the world. At
That,
least.
yeah, I love your vision. So I would love to be part of it. That sounds amazing. I did watch some of the Zoom that you sent me in Ghana, but listen, the connection was really bad.
Okay.
So I need to catch up and watch it properly again. But honestly, first we're gonna meet up and then let's take it from there. But definitely, definitely. Thank you so, so much for your time. Thank you for everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
We need more people like you. And I'm sure by what
And
you're
more people
doing,
like you too. So
thank you.
it goes
But I
both
think
ways.
together, I think we're gonna make something very special for young people. So thank you.
Absolutely. And obviously, as I mentioned to you, or I think I mentioned, every Tuesday we've got what we call Ubuntu Economics. It's a free session, 7 o'clock UK time. Come and test the water
Yeah,
for yourself and by yourself. And
yeah.
and then see. Next week we're gonna talk about debt economy. Because I see lots of boys and girls jumping up and down. Let me buy this in credit. Let me use the credit card. Let me do this. There is a trap in there. And I can tell you, we've got one or two things to share.
Thank you so much. Half term in 2 weeks, I've got half term, so I'm gonna be free to come in
Yeah.
person. All right. So tell
Okay.
me when and where, and I'll be there. 7 o'clock, but tell me where, and I'll be
Oh
there.
yeah. Well, you are more than welcome.
Thank you again. Yeah,
Uh,
and we'll keep in touch.
okay. Have a good one. Yes. My
Bye.
pleasure. Bye bye.
Pleasure.
Bye.